I hereby introduce to you Mr. Michael Veazey.
Hi, amazing FBAers, and I'm just driving around London here. It's been one of those disrupted days where you cannot do the thing that you set out to do because other things come up. Now, today's been an interesting day because I've had to drive my partner around to different bits of work, even though I don't normally do that because she's been a bit too ill to travel herself by public transport. Now, I am off to see some family members that have popped into London, which is an important thing to keep going with. But it's nevertheless, a disruption to my plans. Now, I was going to get 2 or 3 podcast episodes done today, so hence the disruption to my plans, but I decided that I'm going to keep going with that anyway under my JFDI just do it policy of the day. Now, one thing to point out today is the dangers of just doing it without actually planning. So this is my second lesson of the day, which is just check the details before you press go on the system. So today, for example, was off to meet some family members, and I thought that I knew where this thing was. There was a name of the school, which was St Paul's Girls' School, which I thought was specific enough. This being London, of course, there are so many different schools. It is, after all, a city of 8 or 9 million people that, of course, there is more than one St Paul's Girls' School. So I'm now off to another St Paul's Girls' School about 3 miles away, which in London means it's going to take me about 20-30 minutes to get there because, of course, traffic is pretty major. Now, that's quite a decent little analogy for how things work with ordering. And quite often we get to the point where, like all entrepreneurs, we are hungry for action, and I think you should have a bias to action. Some people go a bit nuts. There's a great guy in my London mastermind, if you're listening, you know who you are there, that went off to Yiwu a couple of years ago and ordered a container load of products without any kind of training or any structure and without doing the numbers. Now, that's a little bit the extreme the other way, but I do think that a bias to action is a good thing. However, you might as well take that little bit of extra time to make sure that your action is going to be meaningful and correct and not be a mess. And checking exactly what it is you've ordered, checking that you've got the destination right, checking that you've got the details right is sometimes pretty important. And actually the stage of the process where you need to stop messing about too long and getting caught in paralysis analysis is probably the product selection stage, as in the niche that you're after. But the time to stop and check everything 3 times before doing something is probably when you're it's probably going to be when you are delivering something from point A to point B, right? Now, this is exactly what I'm doing. Okay, I'm delivering myself from point A to point B, but it's the same kind of idea as whether you're delivering a person or you're delivering a pile of goods, whether it's 500 units of plastic widgets or one person. You need to check where you're going to, and if you're communicating that to somebody else, then you need to make sure you communicate that very, very clearly. Now, particularly if there's a language barrier or a cultural barrier, i.e. if you're ordering stuff from China to go to America, trust me, it's very, very easy for them to get it really, really wrong, especially if you've been discussing the possibility, as I often will, of ordering stuff to go to America, order stuff to go to UK. Maybe you've gotten the same product produced and you're actually sending some to one place and some to another. If you're doing that, you really, really, really want to make sure they have the correct destination address. That is but one example, but it is a very common one. It's a very easy mistake to make. So make sure, if you are going to take time to really analyze things and take great care of the details, that is when you're ordering stuff, and especially when you're dealing with freight. So there's one small but really, really, really important hint for any FBA seller. And I'm going to get back to focusing where I am going. Okay, speak to you soon.